Here's something you may have missed on Michiana's Morning News.
On the Newsline this morning, it's Jen Goebel from South Bend Animal Care and Control. On vacation, but what a true pal you are to let me wake you up at 8 o'clock in the morning on your day off. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. It's all about the animals.
It really is. And tomorrow and this weekend arguably could be one of the most dangerous weekends for animals. And as you know, a couple of years ago, we had an experience with Wrigley in a fenced-in, airtight, secure yard on the 4th of July. We turned our back for 10 or 15 minutes. He was in the yard. Our neighbors were setting up fireworks, and he went missing for a couple of days. Luckily, we got him back. But the animals just absolutely freak out this time of year.
Yeah, this is a time of year we see a huge influx of animals that come into the shelter because they're so frightened by the fireworks. It's very, very common for them to run, and they can run for miles because they're in that adrenaline, scared fear mode, and so they will just run and run and run.
Yeah, and they could even, as Wrigley did, find ways to, get out of a fence or get out of their enclosure that you may otherwise think is safe because, as you mentioned, the fear, they're scared, the adrenaline, and they just want to get away from the noise.
Right, and that's why it's always a good thing. Keep your dogs indoors. If you can, keep them confined to a particular room, especially if you're going to have guests over. The animals may sneak out. If you can keep your doors locked, keep them locked. Double check your fences and your gates and things like that. Those are all good things. If your animal suffers like super high anxiety, you can go out and get what's called a thunder shirt, or you can get an ACE bandage and wrap around them. You can Google it, or it's on Pinterest, how to wrap your dog in like a thunder shirt with an ACE bandage. The compression helps calm them a little bit. There's other things like CBD oil that you can give your dog to help calm them, take that edge off. Those are a couple things that you can do if they have the super high anxiety, even if you don't plan on going anywhere and they're just super scared of fireworks.
Yeah, chatting with Jen Goebel from South Bend Animal Care and Control. I was going to ask you, thunder shirts, they appear to work?
Yeah, we have a lot of success with that. We actually use that in the shelter. Anxiety as a whole, thunder shirts are great because it gives them the sensation of kind of a perpetual hug, just that comfort of being close to something. So it kind of tricks the dog into thinking that.
Yeah, how about if the dog's inside, would you suggest radio on, maybe turn a little loud TV on, some sort of other noise distraction to maybe drown out the fireworks?
You can try that, and I know it's probably a little bit late this year, but like next year leading up into like big events like this, you can play, you can Google fireworks on your phone or something like that and play it near your animal and just calmly talk to them. So you do what's called desensitizing them to that sound. So they learn to associate not to be scared, but that it's okay, that those sounds are okay and it's nothing to be scared of because the owner is there reassuring them, petting them, soothing them, making sure that everything's okay. And you can, do it softly and then gradually increase the sound up louder. So then the animal, it's second nature to them. That's what they do with police dogs and especially like army dogs. They have to desensitize those animals to the sound of gunfire and tanks and things like that. So it's possible.
If someone's dog gets out tomorrow or sometime this weekend, best thing to do?
Well, prepare is the best thing to do. Make sure you have the most recent updated photo of your pet is a big thing. Definitely make sure that their collar is still functional, that it's not going to fall off, and it has a tag. And definitely microchip your pet because if the collar happens to come off, at least you still have the microchip, and that's the quickest way for any shelter, any lost and found group to get your animal back to you. One other thing I would probably caution about is, like, if you're having fireworks at your home, make sure that you clean all of that up prior to letting your dog out into the yard, because if they eat that or consume that, they can get really sick and possibly even die.
Best way to contact you or your great staff if you're looking for a pet or if your pet should happen to get out, how do we find you guys?
Definitely, we encourage everyone to come down to the shelter to do a walkthrough. You can call 235-9303. You can also find or email us a loss report online before you make it down there, so at least we kind of have an idea of what we're looking for. You can email a picture and the loss report off of our website, which is southendin.gov.
Great tips. Jen, thank you so much. I know you're on vacation, but I talked to you yesterday, and you said, listen, for the dogs, for the animals, for the pets, I will totally get up and do this. And and it's just that important. I mean, again, we're really good dog parents. We've got several dogs from you, and our fence was, I thought, secure. And yet Wrigley somehow, as you mentioned, the fear, the adrenaline. I, of course, blame Julie because she let him out and then walked away. But
well, of course.
Yeah, of course. But, so animals really act out of the ordinary when they get freaked out by fireworks. So I appreciate the tips, and you guys have a good vacation. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. Care. Jen Goebel, South Bend Animal Care and Control.
Michiana's Morning News with Mark McGill. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 95.3 Michiana's News Channel.
Podcasts by Federated Media. Podcasts by Federated Media.